For the past 7 years, I have been tracking what actually disappears from Costco shelves versus what sits there untouched during shortages. And here's what I noticed. While everyone rushes to buy the same viral items they saw on TikTok, I quietly watch which products management quietly removes from inventory before they even tell anyone. Number 6 on this list is sitting in your warehouse right now for under $15, and in 2 weeks it'll be gone permanently. The problem is that when everyone reads the same deal blogs and buys the same trending products, those are exactly what Costco stops carrying first. Back in March 2023, I watched the Kirkland protein bars vanish overnight. But there was another item, same aisle, same price point, fully stocked for 3 more months. Nobody noticed because nobody was looking. Today I'm showing you 11 items Costco is pulling in March 2026. Not because they're bad, because they're being discontinued, reformulated, or replaced with something more expensive. If you want any of these, you've got about 2 weeks. And make sure you hit subscribe right now, because I track these changes every single month, and you do not want to miss which items are disappearing next. Number 1. The Kirkland Organic Coconut Oil in the 2-pack. This one sounds boring until you realize what's actually happening. Costco is switching suppliers in April, which means the current version, the one that's been the same for 6 years, is done. The new version is going to be smaller jars at a higher price point. I talked to a guy who works in their grocery distribution, 15 years in the business, and he told me flat out they're clearing current stock by mid-March to make room. Here's why this matters. The current 2-pack gives you 54 ounces total for $12.47. That breaks down to 23 cents per ounce. The new version they're bringing in is going to be 40 ounces for $14.99. That's 37 cents per ounce. You're paying 60% more for less product. I bought 4 2-packs last week. That's 432 ounces, which in my house lasts about 8 months. We use it for everything: cooking, coffee, skincare, even oiling cutting boards. And here's the thing nobody talks about. Coconut oil doesn't go bad. I've got a jar in my pantry that's 4 years old. Opened it last month. Still perfect. No rancid smell, no off taste, nothing. So when people say don't stock up on oils, they're thinking about vegetable oil or canola, which do oxidize. Coconut oil is saturated fat. It's shelf stable for years, especially if you keep it sealed. Most people have never even checked the price per ounce on this stuff. They just assume Costco is always the cheapest, and it usually is, but not after April. Grab this now while it's still the old formula and the old price. Look, grocery prices are rising faster than most people's paychecks can keep up with. I've done the math for you and put together a free Costco insider list that shows you the exact items getting discontinued or reformulated every quarter. It saves you hundreds compared to just walking in blind and grabbing whatever's on the end cap. You can download it for free at the link in the description, so you can stop overpaying for the new versions and start stocking the original formulas before they vanish. Number 2 is going to surprise you. The Kirkland outdoor folding chairs, the blue and black ones in the 4-pack. These have been a Costco staple for almost a decade, but they're being replaced with a different model in late March. Now here's what's wild. The current ones are $59.99 for 4 chairs. That's $15 per chair. The new model coming in is a 2-pack for $44.99. $22.50 per chair. You're getting half as many chairs for more money per unit. I know this because I saw the internal memo that got leaked on a Costco employee forum. They're discontinuing the 4-pack to push higher margin items. And before you think who cares about folding chairs, let me tell you what happened at my house last summer. We had a backyard thing with about 20 people. I had 8 of these chairs. They held up perfectly. No wobbling, no fabric tearing, no frame bending. Meanwhile, my neighbor brought his fancy $70 per chair set from some outdoor brand. 2 of them broke. Just snapped at the joints. These Kirkland ones are stupid durable for the price, and if you've got kids or you host anything outdoors, having extra chairs that you don't care about is a game changer. You're not stressed about someone spilling on them or leaving them in the rain. I'm grabbing 2 more 4-packs before they're gone, because at $15 a chair, that's cheaper than renting them, and I'll use them for the next 10 years. Number 3. Kirkland Organic Maple Syrup, the 1-liter bottle. This is sitting in the breakfast aisle right now for $13.49. In April, they're switching to a smaller bottle with a different supplier. The new one is going to be 750 milliliters for $12.99. You're getting 25% less syrup for almost the same price. Here's the trick with maple syrup that nobody mentions. It literally lasts forever if you store it right. I'm not exaggerating. Pure maple syrup is so high in sugar that bacteria can't grow in it. I've got a bottle I opened 3 years ago. Still in my fridge. Still tastes exactly the same. If it crystallizes, you just warm it up. If you don't open it, it sits in your pantry for decades. And here's the real insight. Most people are buying the garbage fake syrup, the corn syrup with artificial flavor. That stuff is 2% actual maple. The Kirkland Organic is pure grade A. The flavor difference is insane. Once you switch, you can't go back. My kids won't even touch the fake stuff anymore. At $13.49 for a full liter, this is cheaper than the organic maple syrup at Whole Foods, which runs about $19.99 for the same size. I bought 3 bottles last week. That's 3 liters, which in my house lasts about a year. And when the new smaller bottles come in at basically the same price, everyone's going to be paying more and getting less, and they won't even notice because the bottle looks similar. Number 4 is going to sound strange, but stay with me. The Kirkland mixed nuts with the cashews and almonds and pecans, the big purple canister. Right now it's $14.79 for 2.5 pounds. They're discontinuing this blend entirely in March and replacing it with a different mix that has more peanuts and fewer cashews. I know this sounds like a small thing, but here's why it matters. Cashews are expensive. They're also calorie dense and actually satisfying. The current mix is about 40% cashews. The new blend dropping in April is going to be 20% cashews and 50% peanuts, which are way cheaper to source. The price is staying the same, $14.79. But you're getting a worse product. I talked to a Costco manager off the record, and he straight up said, "This is a margin play. Peanuts cost half as much as cashews, so they're shifting the blend and keeping the price." Most shoppers won't even notice until they get home. I go through about 1 canister a month. These are my go-to snack when I'm working, and the protein and fat keep me full for hours. I don't crash like I do with crackers or granola bars. I bought 6 canisters last weekend. That's 15 pounds of the good blend, which gives me 6 months before I have to switch to the cheaper new version. And here's the kicker. If you're buying mixed nuts anywhere else, you're paying way more. Trader Joe's charges $11.99 for 1 pound of a similar mix. Costco is giving you 2.5 pounds for $14.79. That's $5.92 per pound versus $12 per pound. It's not even close. Number 5. The Kirkland Liquid Dish Soap, the green apple scented one in the twin pack. This has been around forever, and it's being discontinued in March because they're consolidating scents. The new version is going to be unscented only, and it's a smaller bottle. Right now, you get 90 ounces total in the twin pack for $7.99. The new bottles coming in April are going to be 70 ounces for $8.49. You're paying more for less. Here's what nobody talks about with dish soap. The Kirkland stuff is legitimately as good as Dawn, and I tested this. Last year, I ran out of the Kirkland and had to buy Dawn for 2 weeks. Same grease cutting power, same suds, same everything. But Dawn costs $4.99 for 19 ounces at Target. That's 26 cents per ounce. The Kirkland is 90 ounces for $7.99. That's 9 cents per ounce. You're paying triple for the name brand. I've got 3 twin packs under my sink right now. That's 270 ounces, which in my house lasts about 9 months. And because it's concentrated, you use less per wash than the cheap stuff, so it actually stretches further. When the new, smaller, unscented version comes in, people are going to pay more and not even realize they got less. Grab the green apple twin packs now while they're still available. Number 6. This is the one I mentioned at the start. The Kirkland Organic Peanut Butter, the 2-pack with the 32-ounce jars. Right now, it's $12.99 for 64 ounces total. That's 20 cents per ounce. In March, they're switching to a different organic supplier, and the new version is going to be 2 28-ounce jars for $13.49. You're losing 8 ounces total and paying more. Here's the move. This peanut butter is just peanuts and salt. No added sugar, No palm oil, no garbage. It separates, which means it's real. You just stir it. I keep one jar in the pantry and one in the fridge. The one in the fridge doesn't separate as much and it's easier to spread. My kids eat peanut butter on something every single day. Toast, apples, celery, straight off a spoon. We go through one jar every 3 weeks. I bought 8 2-packs last Tuesday. That's 16 jars, which gives me about a year. And before you say that's too much, peanut butter lasts way longer than the date on the jar. I've eaten jars that were 2 years past the printed date. Tasted perfect. The oil might separate more, but you just stir it back in. At 20 cents per ounce, this is cheaper than every other organic peanut butter on the market. Even Trader Joe's organic is about 29 cents per ounce. Costco is beating them by 30%. And in April, that gap shrinks because the new smaller jars cost more per ounce. Number 7. The Duracell C batteries, the 18-pack. These are in the battery aisle for $17.49. Costco is discontinuing this count size in March and moving to a 12-pack at a higher per battery price. Right now, 18 batteries cost you 97 cents each. The new 12-pack is going to be $14.99, which is $1.25 per battery. You're paying 30% more per unit. Here's why this matters more than you think. C batteries are the forgotten size. Nobody stocks them until they need them, and then they panic buy at Walgreens and pay $6 for 2 batteries. That's $3 per battery. Meanwhile, Costco is charging 97 cents. I use C batteries for flashlights, lanterns, and my kids' toys. Last winter during a power outage, I had 6 lanterns running for 2 days straight on these batteries. No flicker, no fade. They outlasted my neighbor's cheap Amazon batteries by a full day. I bought 3 18-packs last week. That's 54 batteries, which sounds insane until you realize that's about 4 years' worth for my house. And here's the thing, alkaline batteries don't expire for 10 years if you store them right. I've got batteries in my garage from 2019. Still at full charge. I tested them. After March, the 18-pack is gone, and you're stuck paying more per battery for less in the box. Grab these now. Number 8. The Kirkland Extra Virgin Olive Oil, the 2-liter bottle from Italy. This one is sitting at $19.99 right now. And it's being replaced in late March with a different bottler. The new version is going to be 1.5 liters for $18.49. Let's do the math. Right now, you're paying $10 per liter. The new bottle is going to be $12.33 per liter. That's a 23% price jump per unit. I know this because the changeover memo got posted in a Costco deals group I follow. Here's what makes this olive oil special. It's actually from Italy, not blended with cheaper oils from Spain or Tunisia like some brands do. You can taste the difference. It's peppery and grassy, not flat and greasy. I use it for everything. Salads, roasting vegetables, finishing pasta, even dipping bread. A 2-liter bottle lasts me about 3 months. I bought 4 bottles last week. That's 8 liters, which gives me about a year. And before you say olive oil goes bad, it does eventually, but not as fast as people think. I keep mine in a cool, dark cupboard, and it stays good for at least 18 months. I've tested this. After a year and a half, there's a slight flavor drop, but it's still totally usable. Most people are buying the tiny bottles at the grocery store for $9.99 per liter, which is the same per unit price as Costco, except those are blended oils, not single-origin Italian. When the new smaller bottle comes in, that price advantage vanishes. Number 9 is one people sleep on. The Kirkland Balsamic Vinegar, the 1-liter bottle from Modena. Right now it's $7.49. They're discontinuing it in March to make room for a smaller premium version at a higher price. The replacement is going to be 750 milliliters for $9.99. You're losing 25% of the product and paying 30% more. Here's the secret about balsamic vinegar. The Kirkland bottle is aged in Modena, which is the actual region in Italy where real balsamic comes from. The cheap stuff at the grocery store is just red wine vinegar with caramel color and corn syrup. It's not even real balsamic. I did a side-by-side taste test last year. The Kirkland has that thick, sweet, complex flavor. The cheap store brand tastes like sour candy. We use balsamic on salads, roasted vegetables, even strawberries. Sounds weird, but try it. Game changer. A 1 liter bottle lasts me about 4 months. I bought 6 bottles last week. That's 6 liters, which is 2 years worth. And here's the thing. Also, balsamic vinegar doesn't spoil. It's acidic enough to kill bacteria. I've got a bottle that's 3 years old, still perfect. After March, you're paying more for less, and most people won't even check the bottle size. They'll just see balsamic vinegar and grab it. Number 10. The Kirkland protein bars, chocolate chip cookie dough flavor, the 20-count box. These are $12.99 right now, and they're being discontinued entirely in March. Not reformulated, discontinued. Costco is replacing them with a different brand at a higher price point. Right now, you're paying 65 cents per bar. The new brand coming in is going to be a 15-count box for $15.49. That's $103 per bar. You're paying 60% more. Here's why I actually care about this one. These bars are legitimately good, and 20 grams of protein, low sugar, and they don't taste like cardboard. I've tried every protein bar on the market. Most of them are either chalky, too sweet, or they wreck your stomach. These are clean. I eat one every morning with coffee, and it holds me until lunch. No crash, no hunger spike. I bought 10 boxes last week. That's 200 bars, which is about 7 months worth for me. And here's the kicker. If you're buying protein bars at the grocery store, you're paying $2.50 to $3 per bar for the same protein content. Costco is giving you better bars for 65 cents. It's not even close. After March, you're stuck with the new brand, which I already tried. It's fine, but it's not as good, and it's way more expensive. If you like the cookie dough flavor, stock up now, because once it's gone, it's gone. Number 11. This is the one that's going to make you mad when you realize what's happening. The Kirkland laundry detergent, the powder version in the big box. Right now, it's $15.99 for 12 pounds. That's $133 per pound, and it does 110 loads. In March, they're discontinuing the powder entirely and pushing everyone to the liquid version, which is more expensive per load. The liquid is going to be $19.99 for 127 ounces, which does 96 loads. Let's break it down. The powder is 14 cents per load. The liquid is 21 cents per load. You're paying 50% more per wash. Here's what nobody tells you about powder detergent. It's actually better for your machine. Liquid detergent leaves residue in the drum and the hoses, which causes mold and that gross smell. Powder rinses clean. I switched to powder 3 years ago, and I haven't had to run a cleaning cycle on my washer since. It just stays fresh, plus powder doesn't expire. Liquid detergent separates in clumps if it sits too long. Powder is shelf-stable forever. I bought 4 boxes last week. That's 48 pounds, which does 440 loads. That's almost 2 years of laundry for my family. And at 14 cents per load, I'm paying $56 total for 2 years of detergent. If I switch to the liquid, that same number of loads costs $92.40. I'm saving $36 just by stocking the powder before it's discontinued. This is the kind of quiet change Costco makes that costs you hundreds over time, and most people never notice until it's too late. Here's what just happened. While everyone else is going to walk into Costco next month and grab whatever's on the shelf, you now know 11 items that are either being discontinued, downsized, or replaced with more expensive versions. You've got about 2 weeks to grab the old formulas at the old prices before they vanish permanently. This isn't about hoarding. This is about not paying more for less just because you didn't know the switch was coming. Drop a comment and tell me which of these you're stocking up on first, because I want to know if I missed anything or if you've noticed other changes I haven't covered yet. And next week, I'm dropping a video on 7 Costco products everyone thinks are deals but are actually cheaper at other stores. You're going to be shocked when you see the price breakdowns. You do not want to miss that one. Think about this for a second. The 11 items I just walked you through represent about $300 in savings if you buy them right now versus waiting until April. That's not chump change. That's a family vacation fund. That's a car payment. That's real money that most people are just leaving on the table because they didn't know to look. And here's the bigger picture that ties everything together. Costco makes these changes 4 times a year, every single quarter. January, April, July, and October. Like clockwork. And every single time they do it quietly. No announcement, no email, no warning. The items just start disappearing from the shelves, and by the time most people notice, it's too late. They're stuck paying the new price for the new version, and they have no idea they just got a price increase disguised as a reformulation. I've been tracking this pattern for 7 years now, and I can tell you with absolute certainty that it happens on purpose. It's by design. Costco knows that most shoppers don't pay attention to unit pricing or bottle sizes. They just see the product they want and throw it in the cart. So they shrink the bottle, downgrade the formula, change the supplier to save on costs and keep the price the same or raise it slightly. To the casual shopper, nothing looks different. But to someone who's actually paying attention, you just got charged 30 or 40% more for the exact same thing. The smart move, the one that actually saves you money long term, is to stay ahead of the curve. It's not about panic buying or being paranoid. It's about being intentional. It's about making one shopping trip now that saves you money for the next 6 months or a year or however long these products last in your house. That's the whole game. That's how you win. And that's exactly why I track these changes every single month. Because once you know what's coming, you can make decisions instead of just reacting to what's on the shelf. I get messages every single week from people telling me they saved $200, $300, sometimes more, just by knowing which items were about to change. One person told me they bought 6 bottles of the olive oil before the switch and calculated they saved $42 versus buying the new smaller bottles at the new price over the course of a year. That's just one product. Multiply that by 11 items, and you're looking at real significant savings. Plus, there's the peace of mind factor. Knowing you've got high-quality products at the old price sitting in your pantry or under your sink means you're not stressed when you're at the store and you see the new version with the higher price tag. You don't care. You already have what you need. You're not shopping emotionally anymore. You're shopping strategically. And that mindset shift alone changes everything about how much you spend on groceries. The other thing I want to mention is that these changes don't stop in March. This is just the spring rotation. In June, there's going to be different items. In September, more. In December, even more. This is an ongoing cycle, and if you want to stay on top of it, you need a system. You need to be checking your Costco regularly. You need to be looking at the details on the labels. And you need to be thinking about what you use most and stocking up before the changes hit. The free Costco Insider list I mentioned earlier gets updated every single quarter with the items I'm tracking. It shows you the price history, the old versus new versions, and exactly how much you're saving by buying before the switch. Download that, bookmark it, and check it before every Costco trip. It takes 2 minutes and it catches changes you would absolutely miss on your own. I've had people tell me that list has saved them more money than their Costco membership cost. That's the kind of return on attention I'm talking about. Look, I'm not saying you need to buy 10 of everything or fill your garage with products. That's not realistic, and it's not what I'm advocating for. I'm saying know your consumption. Know how much you actually use, how long it lasts, and stock up on the good versions at the good prices before they disappear. That's it. That's the whole strategy. One more thing before you go. If you found this video helpful, if the price breakdowns made sense to you, if you're already thinking about which items you're going to grab this week, then hit that subscribe button. Not just because I cover this stuff every single month, but because the people who win at the grocery game are the ones who stay informed. They're the ones who check their emails, who watch the updates, who stay one step ahead. Be one of those people. Thank you for watching all the way through. I know that was a lot of information, a lot of numbers, and a lot of reasons to think differently about your Costco trips. But this is exactly the kind of information that saves people hundreds of dollars every year. And most people never see it because they're not looking. You're looking now. You're ahead of the curve. Use that advantage. Go grab those products this week. I'll see you next time.